Victory can be dangerous when it humiliates an empire that does not know how to forgive. Star Wars Episode III Revenge of the Sith begins with the Republic still calling itself free even as war, fear, and emergency power hollow it out from within. The Clone Wars are nearing their end, but peace is nowhere in sight. Instead, the galaxy is drifting toward dictatorship, the Jedi are losing their grip on events, and Anakin Skywalker is standing at the edge of the choice that will turn him into Darth Vader. The movie opens above Coruscant in the middle of a huge space battle. The Separatists have attacked the capital and kidnapped Chancellor Palpatine. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin lead a daring rescue mission through fire, wreckage, and enemy fighters. From the first minutes, the contrast between them is sharp. Obi-Wan is precise, disciplined, and calm under pressure. Anakin is brilliant, aggressive, and already too comfortable with solving problems through force. They fight their way onto General Grievous' flagship and finally reach the captive Chancellor who is guarded by Count Dooku. The duel is short but revealing. Anakin defeats Dooku, disarms him, and holds him helpless. Then Palpatine quietly urges him to kill. Anakin hesitates because it is wrong, but anger, humiliation from their earlier defeat, and Palpatine pressure push him over the line. He executes Dooku, and the moment lands hard because Anakin knows immediately that he has done something he cannot truly justify. The rescue is not over. Grievous escapes, Obi-Wan is knocked unconscious, and Anakin has to pilot the crippled ship back through the battle and into a crashing landing on Coruscant. He succeeds, and to the outside world he looks like a hero at the height of his power. Underneath that success, though, the moral damage is already spreading. Back on Coruscant, Anakin reunites with Padme Amidala and learns she is pregnant. It should be the happiest moment of his life. Instead, it becomes another source of fear. Their marriage is still secret because the Jedi forbid attachment. Now the stakes feel even higher. Anakin is about to become a father, but he cannot openly acknowledge the life he chose with Padme. Joy immediately mixes with anxiety, and that anxiety becomes the opening Palpatine needs. The film also makes clear that the Republic is rotting from inside. Palpatine uses the ongoing war to gather more and more emergency power. The Jedi sense that something is wrong, but they are already trapped inside politics in ways they once would have rejected. They serve as generals, keep the war machine moving, and talk about defending democracy while standing closer and closer to military rule. Anakin starts having visions of Padme dying in childbirth. These visions hit exactly where he is weakest. He lost his mother after seeing signs of her suffering and arriving too late. That wound never healed. Now he believes the same kind of future is waiting for Padme, and the fear of losing her becomes stronger than his loyalty to the Jedi. Palpatine keeps moving closer. He has been grooming Anakin for years, offering praise, validation, and special attention in ways the Jedi never do. The Council respects Anakin's talent, but they do not fully trust him and they rarely hide it well. Palpatine does the opposite. He makes Anakin feel exceptional, necessary, and understood. The divide widens when Palpatine appoints Anakin as his personal representative on the Jedi Council. The Council reluctantly grants Anakin a seat but denies him the rank of Master. The insult burns. It feels like proof that no matter what he has done in the war, the Jedi still see him as a problem instead of a trusted equal. Then the Council makes things worse by asking Anakin to spy on Palpatine. From their point of view, it is necessary. From Anakin's point of view, it feels like betrayal from both sides. Palpatine wants his loyalty. The Jedi want his access. Neither group is giving him the trust he craves. He starts to feel isolated inside every relationship that once defined him. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan is sent to hunt down General Grievous on the sinkhole world of Utapau. That choice matters because it removes the one person who might still have reached Anakin emotionally. Obi-Wan and Anakin have tension, but there is still deep love between them. Once Obi-Wan leaves, Anakin is left alone with his fear and with Palpatine's voice in his ear. Palpatine finally reveals more of his philosophy during an opera conversation with Anakin. He tells a story about a Sith Lord who discovered how to influence life and death. The details matter less than the temptation. Palpatine is offering Anakin exactly what he wants most, the idea that there may be a way to stop Padme from dying. On Utapau, Obi-Wan confronts Grievous and kills him after a hard fight, removing one of the Republic's biggest enemies. That victory should feel decisive, but it is overshadowed by what is happening on Coruscant. The outer war is ending just as the inner one reaches its breaking point. Palpatine finally reveals his true identity to Anakin. He is the Sith Lord the Jedi have been searching for. More than that, he tells Anakin directly that the dark side may hold the power to save Padme from death. This is the choice at the center of the movie. Anakin could expose him and trust the Jedi. He does expose him at first. He goes to Mace Windu and reports the truth. But he is terrified that if the Jedi kill Palpatine, the knowledge he thinks he needs will die with him. Mace takes a small group of Jedi to arrest the Chancellor. Anakin is told to stay behind, but he cannot. He sits alone in the council chamber, caught between duty and fear, and then makes his decision. He races to Palpatine's office just as Mace defeats the Sith Lord and prepares to kill him. Palpatine looks weak and desperate. It is an act, but it works. Anakin sees another execution about to happen, another person claiming to hold the answer to death about to be destroyed. In panic, he intervenes. Mace is disarmed and Palpatine kills him instantly. That is the moment Anakin truly falls. Everything after this grows from it. He tells himself there is still a way back, that he can learn what he needs and then set things right. But Palpatine gives him a new name, Darth Vader, and Anakin accepts it. He kneels not because he suddenly loves evil, but because he has convinced himself that evil is now the only road left to saving Padme. Palpatine moves fast. He declares the Jedi traitors and activates Order 66. Across the galaxy, clone troopers turn on the Jedi commanders they have fought beside for years. The montage is devastating because it shows how thoroughly the trap was built. The clones were never simply soldiers. They were the weapon designed to destroy the Jedi from within their own war. Palpatine then sends Vader to the Jedi Temple. This is the point of no return. Vader leads clone troops inside and massacres everyone there, including children. Anakin is no longer only betraying the Order, he is helping erase it. Yoda and Obi-Wan survive the purge and begin to understand the scale of the disaster. They return to the ruined temple and discover security recordings that force Obi-Wan to witness the truth. Anakin was not merely manipulated from the outside. He willingly participated in the slaughter. Obi-Wan is shattered because he does not just lose a friend here. He loses the person he trained, loved, argued with, and believed in for years. Padme, meanwhile, can barely process what is happening. She knows Anakin is troubled, but she cannot imagine the full depth of what he has done. When Obi-Wan tells her the truth, she rejects it at first. Her faith in Anakin is stronger than the evidence. Palpatine sends Vader to Mustafar to kill the separatist leaders and close out the war. Vader does exactly that. The war ends not through peace but through mass murder ordered by the same man who created both sides of the conflict. Padme goes to Mustafar to confront Anakin, hoping she can still reach the man beneath the rage. For a brief moment, it almost seems possible. Anakin talks about ending the war and gaining the power to reshape the galaxy. In his mind, he is not a villain. He thinks he is taking control away from corrupt institutions and toward a future where he and Padme can rule together. Then he sees Obi-Wan arrive, hidden on Padme's ship, and whatever remains of his trust collapses. He believes Padme has betrayed him. In blind rage, he turns the Force against her and nearly kills the very person he was trying to save. What follows is the final duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan, one of the most emotionally charged fights in the series. It is not just master against apprentice. It is brother against brother, father figure against son, love against devastation. They fight through fire, smoke, collapsing machinery, and rivers of lava, while Obi-Wan keeps trying to reach the person Anakin used to be. But Anakin has given himself completely to rage and pride. The duel ends with Obi-Wan taking the advantage both literally and emotionally. Anakin, still driven by fury, refuses to stop and is catastrophically injured. Obi-Wan leaves him burning on the volcanic shore, unable to kill him outright but unable to save him either. At the same time, Yoda confronts Palpatine in the Senate chamber. Their duel is not just physical, it represents the collapse of the old Republic into the Empire. The very room once meant for debate and law becomes a battlefield of raw power. Yoda fights hard, but he cannot defeat Palpatine. He is forced to retreat and accept the terrible truth that the Jedi have lost. Palpatine declares the Republic reorganized into the First Galactic Empire, promising security and stability while the Senate applauds. Fear has done its work. People accept dictatorship because it arrives dressed as protection. On the medical station of Polis Massa, Padme gives birth to twins Luke and Leia. She names them, but she is fatting fast. Everything she loved has been torn apart at once. She dies believing there is still good in Anakin, and that final belief becomes important for the future even if it changes nothing in the moment. Anakin survives too, though what remains is no longer the young man we knew. Palpatine retrieves him and the reconstruction into Darth Vader begins. The armor, mask, and mechanical body are not just visual transformation. They are the prison built around the person he chose to become. When Vader learns Padme is dead, the cruelty of the tragedy becomes complete. The future he destroyed himself was the future he thought he was saving. The ending carefully lays out the next generation of hope. Yoda and Obi-Wan decide the twins must be hidden. Leia is taken to Alderaan and raised by Bail Organa. Luke is brought to Tatooine, where Obi-Wan watches from a distance as the boy is given to Owen and Beru Lars. The heroes are scattered, the Jedi are nearly gone, and the Empire rises into full power. Yet the story closes on Luke being carried toward the Lars homestead under the desert suns, which means even here, after everything has burned down, the future is still waiting. Revenge of the Sith works because it does not reduce Anakin's fall to one weakness. It is a tragedy built from many truths at once. He is manipulated, but he also chooses. He is failed by institutions, but he also fails others. He loves deeply, but that love becomes possessive and terrified. The Jedi are noble but rigid and politically compromised. Palpatine wins not because he is stronger than everyone else, but because he understands fear better than they understand themselves. By the end, Star Wars Episode III Revenge of the Sith becomes more than the end of a trilogy. It becomes the story of how a republic dies, how a hero becomes a monster, and how hope survives only by being hidden in the lives of two children. And when the mask closes over Anakin's face for the first time, the galaxy does not simply lose a good man. It loses the future it thought it was building.